Hello, Nick.
The time is 10 p.m.
Hey there, whereas traveler from Bizarro World. Thank God you passed the Twilight Zone. Be really sad you hit the fork in the road. Yeah.
I love it. You guys are so great.
But be so happy you took the ride and rolled right into the most expensive church this side of the universe, the Party Pen. What we got for you? Welcome. So, what we do here in this most amazing place, we read this great ass book. It's called God Said What? Because God did not say that. We are actually reading part 2 of God Said What? It's called Jesus Who? We are meeting this fella called Jesus. And it turns out he's a pretty badass dude. And he's on this tour. It's his regional shit talking tour. And he's on it. And we're on it with him. And we're going to go around pissing Pharisees off. And it's going to be so much fun. So come along with me and piss some people off. It'll be great. Yeah. And also, I would love to interact with you, so please interact in the chat. There will be other people here shortly to also interact in the chat with you. So do not be intimidated by the chat. Please chat. Because if anything, what's it called? I'll something with you. Interact. I'll interact with you, so please chat. And what else was there? I think that was it. We're on chapter 6 of Matthew, the first book of Jesus Who. So it should be fun. let me see. I'm turning this to live chat so I can see if anybody feels like interacting with me. I think that's it. It's the best we can do. Okay. So let's do this thing. No, I can't do that. Okay. Anyway, we're in chapter 6 of Matthew, first book of Jesus Who. And it says, beware of practicing your righteousness before men, to be noticed by them. Otherwise, you have no reward with your Father who is in heaven. So it means build your character. Do shit in secret. Build your character. Character is built in what you do when no one's watching. It's what you do in secret for other people. Build your character. It matters. When, therefore, you give alms, do not sound a trumpet before you, as the hypocrites do in the synagogue and in the streets, that they may be honored by men. Because listen, I'm telling you, there they have their reward in full. Build your character. Do shit in secret when no one's watching. Okay. But when you give alms, do not let your left hand know what your right hand is doing. Means don't tell nobody, you don't need to. That's where I fucked up, ain't it? Yep, that's exactly where I fucked up. Because I did something and then I told people that I did something. Mostly because I wanted them to tell me it was stupid because it might have been stupid. But either way, I did that. But, in your, okay. Don't let your left hand know that your alms may be in secret, and your Father who sees in secret will repay you. And when you pray, you are not to be as the hypocrite, for they love to stand and pray in their stupid church and on the street corners in order to be seen by men. Because listen, I'm telling you, they have their reward in full. Build your character, do shit in secret. That really doesn't sound like fireworks. I don't know. Okay, anyway. Build your character by doing shit in secret. Character is what you do when no one's watching. But when you pray, go into your inner room, so in your closet, and when you have shut your door, pray to your Father who is in secret, and your Father who sees in secret will repay you. Are there people chatting and I can't see you? Hey, Neil, welcome. I was wondering why I couldn't see nobody. How are you? I have my chat working now. I can see it. Okay. So anyway, when you pray, go into your closet, and when you shut your door, pray to your Father who's in secret, and your Father who sees in secret will repay you. And when you are praying, do not use meaningless repetition. Don't be Catholic, as the Gentiles do, because they're Catholic and stupid. For they suppose they will be heard for their many words, mostly because they're Catholic and stupid. Therefore, do not be like them, because they're Catholic and stupid. For your Father knows what you need before you ask Him. Pray in this way. I used to know this by heart. I kind of get it fucked up. I try to do it every time I read this. But it's, Our Father who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Hold on. Our Father who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name, thy kingdom come, thy will be done on earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our trespasses as we forgive those who trespass against us. Lead us not into temptation, for thine is the power and the glory forever. Amen. Boom, got it. For if you forgive men for their transgression, your heavenly Father will also forgive you. Okay, that's fine, Neil. You're number one, by the way. But if you do not forgive men, then your Father will not forgive you. And whenever you fast, do not put on a gloomy face as the hypocrites do, for they neglect their appearance in order to be seen fasting. Because listen, I'm telling you, they got their reward. But you, when you fast, anoint your head, wash your face, so you don't need to be seen fasting by men, because God's seen, right? Do not lay up for yourselves treasures on earth, where moth and rust destroy, and thieves will steal it. But lay up for yourself treasures in heaven, where nothing will happen to it. For where your treasure is, there your heart will be. The lamp of the body is the eye. If therefore your eye is clear, your whole body is full of light. But if your eyes is bad, your whole body will be bad. No one can serve two masters, for he will hate one and love the other. You can't love God and money at the same time. For this reason, I'm telling you, do not be anxious for your life, so what you will eat or drink or what you'll wear. None of that fucking matters, because life is more than that. Look, the birds, they don't know how to do anything, but they have food, don't they? And which of you, by being anxious, can add a single cubit to his lifespan? Why are you anxious anyways about any of it? Look at the flowers and whatnot. Because listen, I'm telling you, Solomon in all his glory did not clothe himself like one of these. But if the grass and all of that stuff is alive today, but he can burn it tomorrow, right? Won't he do so much more to y'all, oh men of little faith? weird. Okay. Do not be anxious, saying, what the fuck are we going to do? For all these things the Gentiles seek. Your heavenly Father knows you need all these things. But seek first God, and then all of this will be added to you. Do not be anxious for tomorrow, because tomorrow can handle itself. Yeah. So, we are about to go on to chapter 7. So, Neil, are you able to chat in between chapters? Ow, I almost just died. While I smoke this cigarette, you want to chat real quick? I hope these motherfuckers aren't out here torturing my cats with this fucking firework bullshit. You know, like chasing my cats around with sprinklers and shit. Sparklers. Whatever that fucking word is. Hi, Neil number 2. Does that mean you can chat with me while I smoke this cigarette? Hi, everyone. Welcome. Press like and subscribe. Chat in the chat, because apparently Neil number 2 is here visiting. So you might love Neil number 2. So come and meet him. And I never introduced myself. I am the amazing saint of awesome, yours superstone sage, Saint Nikki K the Grit. And I would love to interact with you. Oh shit, I forgot to call my dad. And I forgot to take my medicine. My dad said, I hope they're chasing your cat. No, Dad, come on. They don't need to be chasing my cats. I need to take my pills, though. I forgot to call my dad and take my pills. But in my defense, I was watching Undertaker versus Shawn Michaels, and then Undertaker versus Randy Orton. And I forgot to take my medicine. It was a whole thing. Does anybody else get wrapped up in wrestling? Look, you guys, be so glad that you don't have brain injuries and epilepsy, because I am not even halfway done taking all these stupid pills I have to take. What's that? Okay. I'll take the vitamins later. Okay. Hi, Feather. And my dad's watching, but he doesn't know how to chat on here. So everybody say hi to my dad. His name is Dad. We could call him Xavier Francis. Xavier Francis Scott Key. I'm just kidding. Don't call him that. Just call him Dad. Say hi, Dad. Man, they need to shut up with this shit. It's now 4th of July. I don't know where my cats are. And the raccoons haven't come. Like they haven't even tried to break into my house today. I'm feeling some kind of way about this holiday. It's messing with my animals, and I don't like it. Ha ha! Papa Nikki! Ha ha! Hold on. Hold on. Dad, I'm calling you. How do I call my dad? How do I? Dad. We'll put my dad on.
I hope I'm not live on the air.
You are, Papa Nikki. Do you
I
see?
don't want to be.
Aw. Well, I just wanted to tell you hi, Papa Nikki, and I took my pill.
I saw you take your pills.
Yeah. And I apologize for not calling you. I love you, Dad.
I love you too, honey. You have a good live stream. Bye.
All right, bye. Sorry, Dad, you were on a live stream. And Red Feather, I'm never going to forget that. I'm going to call my dad Papa Nikki forever. But what we learned in chapter 6 is build our character. And character is what you build when no one's watching. So you do all your shit in secret, and then you'll have good luck. Oh, well, you know, God will give you good luck. It'll be all good for you. But I did something. I won an entry to a TV show on a scratch off, and I gave it to my neighbor, and then I told everybody that I gave my neighbor a lottery entry to the TV show. But I already had an entry. I have an entry on the TV show. So I gave him an entry on the TV show. I thought it would be fair because, you know, I don't ever see anybody over there with them. And I'm always like, can I have your dog? So I figure I'll give you a lottery ticket entry thing for the TV show because you let me pet your dog. And he lets me buy it bones. Yeah. He lets me love his dog. He's really great. Okay. So now we are going on to chapter 7. Okay. Do not judge lest you be judged. I am the absolute worst at that. Let you have look, I got a whole problem with uneven people. People that are uneven, you know, it bothers my eyes. and I'm all judgy about that shit. And I shouldn't be because I am highly uneven. So, anyway. For in the way you judge, you will be judged. And by your standard of measure, it will be measured to you. That's why you look weird, Nikki, because you can't shut up talking about other people. That is the absolute truth, self. I should stop doing that. I need to stop doing a lot of things. I am a terrible person. No, I'm not. I'm not a terrible person. I just have terrible ideas. Okay. And why do you look at the speck in your brother's eye, but do not notice the log in your own eye? Because it's easier to see other people's problems. That's why. Or how can you say to your brother, hey, let me help you out? But then, you're not doing very good yourself. It's like the lesson on the airplane. You can't save anybody else unless you save yourself first. So you have to save yourself before you can save anyone else. It's the problem politicians need to learn. We can't take care of anybody else because we can't take care of ourselves. And it's like, while you're taking care of all this other shit, you're suffering. And you don't need to be. Yeah, my cats are all fucked up. I hear them growling. Okay. Now Jesus says, you're a hypocrite. Handle yourself first. You cannot take care of anybody else unless you take care of yourself. Right? Do not give what is holy to dogs. Do not throw your pearls before swine, lest they trample them under feet and tear you to pieces. Look, in my previous life before my brain injuries and stuff, I used to do this. I used to hang out with the swines and the dogs. And I was really bad. So I completely understand this because what I had, could have been considered pearly or whatever, I was a sweet guy, but then the streets ate me alive. And now I am this madman before you. Okay. Raccoons, they're here. Hey, guys. Sorry. They actually came out. I'm surprised. Yeah. It's so easy to do the wrong thing. It's so easy. Okay. Ask, and it shall be given to you. That made my house shake. See, I'm tired of this. I hate this holiday. I'm sorry, America, fuck you! But I hate this holiday. My poor animals. Okay. Now, for everyone who asks, receives, and he who seeks finds, and to him who knocks it shall be opened. That is the key to God. If you want to find God, you will find God. If you want happiness, meaning, and purpose, you will find it. You just gotta ask God. What man is there among you when his son asks for a loaf, will give him a stone? Only if it's for YouTube views. I mean, if it's gonna be funny, it's worth it. Okay. Or if he shall ask for a fish, will he give him a snake? Probably not, because that seems dangerous. But anyway, okay. If you then, being evil as God people, how do you know how to give good gifts to your children? How much more will God, your Father, give you what you need? Therefore, whoever you want, no. Therefore, however you want people to treat you, treat them, for this is the law of the prophets. Enter by the narrow gate, for the gate is wide and the way is broad that leads to destruction. Because it's easy to do the wrong thing. So it's easy to get in. And many of those who enter the gateway is broad that leads to destruction, and many are those who enter. For the gate is small, and the way is narrow that leads to life, and there are few that find it, because it's hard to do the right thing. Doing the right thing is so hard. Beware of false prophets who come to you in sheep's clothing, but inwardly they are ravenous wolves. See, we're the different. We are sheep dressed like wolves. We fit in to get in because we are good in the world and good at the world. And we just sit in a little spot dressed like a wolf because we're fucking amazing. You will know them by their fruits. Grapes are not gathered from thorns, nor figs from thistles, are they? Meaning their works, their deeds. You'll know them by what they do, their character, the shit they do when no one's watching, which is evil. They do evil. These people are evil. Even so, every good tree bears good fruit, but the bad tree bears bad fruit. A good tree cannot produce bad fruit, nor can a bad tree produce good fruit. Every tree that does not bear good fruit is cut down and thrown into the fire. So, you will know them by their fruits, their character, what they do when no one's watching. Not everyone who says to me, Lord, Lord, will enter heaven, but he who does the will of my Father who is in heaven. Could you imagine being the motherfucker? Look, you're in a room full of all other ghostly spirits, and you're going up to meet Jesus, and he's like, haha, I don't know you. How embarrassed would you be? I would be totally embarrassed. If you went up to him, like, hey, I know you, he'd be like, I don't know you. And just turn his back to you. Could you imagine? Okay. Listen. And then they will say, yeah, but I prophesied in your name and took out demons. And I've done all sorts of cool shit. And then Jesus will be like, yeah, but I don't know why you did that because I don't even know who you are. You might as well be BTK. Yeah, you know, the preacher guy that turned into a serial killer? Yeah, I know that guy's name, but I don't know your name. What's his name? The BTK Dennis Rader. Yeah, I know that guy's name, but I don't know your name. Could you imagine if Jesus said that? I know true crime's name more than I know your name. Goodbye. Fucking shit. Then I will declare to them, really, I never knew you, so please go away. Security! Oh my God. Could you imagine being that spirit? There ain't no way. No. Therefore, everyone who hears these words of mine and acts upon them may be compared to a wise man who built his house on a rock. It's good time. And everyone who hears these words of mine and does not act will be like a foolish man who built his house on the sand. And the rain descended, and the floods came, and the winds, and it like blew up his house. Yeah, it was terrible. The result was that when Jesus finished these words, the multitudes were amazed at his teaching. And the result was, when Jesus finished these words, the multitudes were amazed, for he was teaching them as one having authority, like a scribe. Okay, so now we are in between chapters. What did you guys think about that? What do you think? What do you think Jesus is trying to say? Come on, we have to know what Jesus said in order to know how to fight these terrible ass God people. Because these motherfuckers are really good at words. So we need to be even better at words. We need to know what he said. I hate this fucking holiday. Can you guys hear that? Nothing, no one. Okay. Let me hit this bowl and we'll go on to chapter 8. I'm back in the chat again. Boom, 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 boom. I think that's how it goes. Back in the chat again. A CNA, Drunken Wizard, I am so fucking mad at you. I am so mad at you. You missed yesterday the most important lesson. Please go back and watch tomorrow's live stream and you can hear me cussing you out because you're not here. And Drunken Wizard, it is so great to see you. Yes. Because you missed my most important lesson yesterday. I drew a picture and everything. I don't know, it's some kind of chat thing. So you guys can fight to be number one in the chat. No, yesterday. I meant yesterday. And no, but watch it sometime because it is the most important. Yeah. Neil, tell him last night was fantastic, wasn't it? I did perching. Yeah. I did some perching and I did a good job. I actually I drew a picture and man, we had such a good time. But we are in chapter 8. I want to hit my bowl one time. If I can even find it. I'm back in the chat again. Boom, 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 boom. Why is that song stuck in my head? Well, I didn't exactly cuss you out. But just know I wanted to. Oh my God. I'm back in the chat again. Boom, boom, boom. I don't even like Aerosmith. And Neil, for some reason, you have Aerosmith stuck in my head. And I have no idea why, because you weren't even singing Aerosmith. But I suppose now you will be. But just know I did it because I it answered a lot of the questions that you asked me. And as soon as I got to it, I even tried to get Deb to find you. Okay, here we go. Chapter 8. 1 second. Son of a bitch. Okay. And when he had come down the mountain, when he comes. Anyway, when he had come down the mountain, great multitudes followed his shining piles of shit. And behold, a leper came to him and bowed down to him and did the face thing. saying, Lord, if you want to, you can make me clean. You can give me a bath, scrub a dub dub, duck in my tub. We have a good time. And he stretched out his hand and touched him and said, what the fuck do I care? Go ahead. Be clean. And then rub a dub dub, ducks in the tub. And immediately his leprosy was cleansed. And Jesus said, don't tell nobody. Nobody. Don't tell nobody. Okay? Don't tell nobody. But go. Was it? Okay. Look, don't tell nobody, but go show people. Don't tell nobody. Look, don't tell nobody, but go show yourself to the priest and present the offering that Moses commanded, a testimony. And then he had entered Capernaum. A centurion came to him, entreating him, saying, look, my servant is paralyzed at home, suffering in great pain. And he said, okay, I'll come. But the centurion was like, why? Chat on my chatty thing. I don't even know where my phone is. Okay. Anyway, the centurion was like, yeah, racism. And Jesus was like, yeah, that's a real thing. Okay. But look, just say the word and my servant will be healed. For I am too a man under authority, and people listen to me and whatnot. And then if I'm seen with one of you terrible ass God people, I'll be stoned to death. Because who the fuck are you to talk to me? Right? So it's like a whole thing. But like, if you're like, be healed, then he'll like be healed. It's like a thing, you know? Like, it's like a thing, And Jesus like, I know it's a thing. Okay. Now, when Jesus heard this, he marveled and said to those who were following his shiny piles of shit, saying, listen, I have not found such great faith among any of you terrible ass God people. Because listen, I'm telling you, many will come from the east and from the west and recline at the table with Abe, Isaac, and Jake in the kingdom of heaven. But the sons of the kingdom shall be cast into the utter darkness. All you motherfuckers are going to back of line. All of you are going to the back of the line. Because you fucking suck. No, I don't know. Anyway, he said, all of you guys are going to back of line. You're going to purgatory, and then you're going to complain among yourselves. Then you're going to be so sad because there's no God. There's no music, no lights, no music. Go do it. Yeah, something like that. Okay. And Jesus said to the centurion, go your own way. Go your own way. Right? Let it be done to you as you have believed. And that very hour, the servant was healed. Hi, guys. Hi, cousin. Okay. And when Jesus had come to Peter's home, he saw his mother-in-law was sick with a fever. Fever! And he touched her hand, and her fever left her, and she arose and waited on him. And when evening had come, they brought to him many who were demon-possessed, and he cast out the spirits with a word and healed all who were ill, in order that what was spoken through Isaiah might be fulfilled, saying, He himself took our infirmities and carried away our diseases. Now, when Jesus saw the crowd around him, he gave orders to depart to the other side. And a certain scribe came and said to him, I'll follow you down. I'll go where you go. And Jesus was like, okay, give up everything and follow me. And then the guy was like, everything? Even my PlayStation, that costs like $500, man. I can't give that up. I haven't even finished Call of Duty. Yeah, I can't do it. And then I have an Xbox cooler, to hold my Mountain Dew and my Doritos and my Snickers bar. Yeah. I can't give it up. Sorry. Wait. I will follow you wherever you go. Oh, I meant the wrong part. Wait, we'll get there in a minute. And Jesus said, Foxes have holes and birds have nests, but the Son of Man has nowhere to lay his head. Oh, you should listen to the Clutch song. Oh, you made me weak and you made me moan. Right? Where I lay my head is home. Yeah. Go ahead. Wherever you lay your head, Jesus, that's your house. And another of his disciples said, I need to bury my dad. And Jesus was like, let them handle that shit. Come on. And when he got out of the boat, because Jesus on a boat, his disciples followed him. And behold, there arose a great storm in the sea, so that the boat was covered with the waves, but Jesus was asleep. Hi, everyone. Press like and subscribe and chat in the chat. We have a live chat on so we can see you talking. So if you want to, please feel free to join the chat and press like and subscribe. Because I know what the fuck is happening. Okay. So Jesus got on a boat and he was asleep. And the people on the boat were freaking. They were flipping McNuggets. They had no idea what to do or what was happening or anything like that. Okay. And it's mayhem everywhere. And everybody's freaking. And then finally they go down there to Jesus. And they're like, wake up, we're gonna die, wake up. And Jesus rolls over and farts and then goes back to sleep. And they are freaking out, and the smell is really bad. But anyway, they're freaking out. And then Jesus gets up and looks at him and is like, I am asleep. And they're like, but we're about to die. And he's like, no, you're not. So Jesus marches up out of the poop deck and is like, shut the fuck up, wind, shut up. And then the wind shut up and Jesus went back down there and went to sleep. But before he was like, you guys suck. And then went back down there and went to sleep. And then everybody was like, what is happening? Nobody knows what's happening. What is happening? And and when they had come to the other side, into the country goober baby food, two men who were demoniacs met him. They were coming out of the tombs. They were so exceedingly violent, no one could pass by that road. And behold, they cried out, saying, what do we have to do with you, Jesus of Nazareth? Wait, where the fuck am I at? What do we have to do with you? Have you come to torment us, Son of God? Now, there was at a distance from them a herd of swine feeding, and the demons began to entreat him, saying, okay, if we gotta go. Oh, good night, Neil. Let me finish this and then I'll be done. Okay, anyway. So there was swine. And then they were like, can we go into the swine? You know, and Jesus don't give a fuck because they're not supposed to eat bacon anyway. So Jesus like, I don't care. They're just pigs. But apparently the pigs were worth a lot of money back then. So these demons went into these pigs, and these pigs jumped themselves off a cliff. And the herdsmen ran and to the city and reported everything. So then everybody gathered around Jesus and is like, can you leave? Like, yeah, we know who you are, but can you leave, please? I highly appreciate it if you left. And that is where we're going to end. Oh, look, there's a lightning bug. Smash. Sorry, Mr. Lightning Bug, but you're in the way. I'll be lights up when he's dead. Oh, I am so sorry, Mr. Bug. But you're in the way. Okay. Anyway. We are leaving off at the end of chapter 8, and we'll pick up on chapter 9 tomorrow. So, what did everybody think about it? CNA, what'd you think? Rule number 1, no crying in chat. Are you crying, Drunken Wizard? Why are you crying? Neil's not gone. He can't stay away from me. I'm just kidding. Neil might be gone. Um, but anyway, what did you guys think about it? CNA is the drunkest of all wizards who skips Bible days. So, I'm not going to stop asking what you guys thought about this reading of God Said What Part 2. It's called Jesus Who. What did you think about it? Or I should say, what do you think of it so far? Because we have a ways to go on this shit talking tour. No, actually, doing shit intentionally is more forgiving than unknowingly because you're always supposed to pay attention. Remember in the beginning of Genesis or Exodus where the rules were if you don't know what the fuck is happening, you have to sacrifice, which is why I think I can be cussing all the time because I know what I'm doing is probably not right, but God said it was okay as long as I know. Yeah, yeah, but what do you think about what Jesus has said? Well, you weren't here for most of it because you don't like to watch my Bible videos. But I'm telling you, watch the one from yesterday. Just watch the one from yesterday. It's the most important one, and it's the only time I might actually do real preaching that doesn't involve singing songs. Well, we haven't even got to the part where God comes into his personality. I stopped directly in the middle so we could get through this terrible ass story of Jesus and then pick up where God starts to party. So we have some levity after this terrible ass story of Jesus. What do you guys think, right? Because we need some levity after this terrible ass heavy story. And we gotta read fucking 4 times. No, there's only 2 paths, good or bad. My therapist told me I have a real problem finding gray areas. And it's like, there's no fucking gray area. Either it's like using the word try instead of attempt. A try to try is to fail. If you attempt to do it, you may fail, but at least you attempted to do it instead of try, which means you give yourself an out to where you don't have to make any effort. If you attempt, you have to make effort. But if you try, you don't really have to make effort. Try is an attempt to fail. I told you guys on. Look, God makes the sun rise on the wicked and the righteous. We learned that yesterday, but you weren't here. God can't stop anything from happening. He waits for you to find him. So then he can shield you from a lot of the world. That's why he's like, come into my hands, because then I can shield you. But God can't shield you if you don't know him. Hello. Well, I mean, you can roll with it because I have no fucking idea what's happening. It's okay. I have no idea what's going on ever. I'm just trying to read this book and figure out what it means. Nobody said he wasn't. We're just, again, this book we're reading is called God Said, because God did not say that shit. And we're reading part 2 of this book, God Said What, which is called Jesus Who, because a lot of Christians don't know Jesus, even though they say they do. They know Paul better than Jesus. So we're reading about Jesus, and then we're going to go back to reading the Old Testament because I love that book. Hi, Bull Up. My name is the Saint of Awesome, your super stone sage, Saint Nikki K the Great. So welcome. Welcome. Please like and subscribe and chat in this chat because no, you're not interrupting. We were done anyways. We were actually having Q&A. So if y'all have any questions, Bulla, if you have any questions, I can attempt to answer them. Yeah, and I'd be saying all kinds of random shit on live stream. So it's okay. And Ricky here is my cousin. CNA is our drunken wizard. Neil is usually here, but I think he got tired. Am I a virgin? No, fuck no. I haven't been a virgin since I was like 15. Are you a virgin? I haven't been asked that since I was like 15. No, I'm 40 and I have 3 kids who are all fucking grown. They're 18, 20, and 22. My kids are old as fuck. Well, I mean, that's fine. You don't have to trust us. You came here. Well, you don't have to trust us, but you can watch because none of us have. Oh, oh, I trust you guys. Okay, never mind. I read that wrong. Yeah, yeah, I read that wrong. Miss Bulla. Oh, look, I just killed a fly on accident. Oh, I'm terrible. Hey, Bulla, do you want to hit this bull? Do you want to hit this bull? I have you noticed I sound like a drunken robot? I can't sing, uh, except for uh no, I can't even sing that. I can't even sing. I'm a drunken robot. No, I'm just kidding. I had a really bad tracheotomy, so I can't sing, and I have no idea who Rita Coolidge is. Okay, I'm gonna mute myself. I'll blow you kisses. His name is Arthur from Red Dead Redemption. He's got a hat. I can't. I can't find it though. Damn, I can't breathe. That weed is too good. I'm not a preacher. I am not legally recognized, except for by you guys. But Ricky's right. Most of our family, are preachers and hookers, or preachers that used to be hookers. It's a good time. Except for Ricky. Ricky is a preacher that may be a psychopath. And you know what? If, Good night, Feather. You weren't even talking. It's time to give the pillows some head and the sheets some ass. Have the sweetest dreams ever. Wizard, not a teacher or preacher. I am not a preacher. I am a sheep dressed like a wolf. I get in to fit in. I fit in to get in. Why do I always say that wrong? I'm dressed like one of the bad guys. So, Bola, where are you from? I'm from Detroit. Nah. Okay. Well, I'm from all over. It is a real look. I love being from all over. I love going places. I'm not from all over though. I'm from Detroit. But I've been all over. Ricky, happy 4th, by the way. Bulla, I've seen you say that a couple times. I thought I said it before, but happy 4th. I hate this holiday because it scares all my animals and it scared my raccoons and my cats and probably the groundhogs. They're just shooting off stupid shit over there. I mean, I love this holiday because America, fuck yeah. But I don't like the fact that all this shit scares my animals. I can't wait for it to be over. Well, yeah, look what it's doing to my animals. It doesn't scare your guys' animals? Hmm. Yeah. I shouldn't say hate this holiday. I dislike it a lot because of what it does to my animals. It's like people don't respect animals. And I'm really worried about those kids chasing my cats around with sprinklers. You know those things. My dad said he hopes they do. What did Feather call him? Papa Nicky? Yep. But, yeah, I guess I gotta remember all of them are drunk. They're not thinking about animals. Except for people who bring their dogs to fireworks shows on purpose and then hit their dog for freaking out. It's like, why the fuck would you take your dog if you know it's gonna be scared? I hate that. And look, I sound like a liberal when I say that shit. It's like, oh, the animal's feelings. But and that just seems like a thing everybody knows because everybody's got an animal of some kind or a kid. So they know that the shit affects things. And I think it's looking at it not from a liberal perspective, but from like a person perspective. Like you have animals and kids, you know this shit's gonna fuck them up. Why do it 2 nights in a row? Right? Give your pillow some head and your sheets some ass. Have the sweetest dreams ever. Are all of us ready to go? Or are we talking? Did, do you think she was calling us motherfuckers in a nice way? I am a motherfucker. I am a motherfucker. Uh-huh. Okay. I don't know what's happening. Okay. Well, Drunken Wizard, what are you thinking? Is it time to give the pillow some head and the sheets some ass? And everyone, don't forget to like and subscribe and come back tomorrow for chapter 9 and 10, and maybe even 11 if we can get it done. So, thank you guys. And give the pillow some head and the sheets some ass. And have the sweetest dreams ever. I love you guys. Good night.